Hello everyone, this is Raymond. So today I'm going to be briefly teaching you guys how to optimize your cross solution. Okay, so in my beginner tutorial I taught you guys to make a flower and then just bring them back down one by one to make the cross. But as you get faster, I don't want you to do that anymore. What I want you to do is actually to just go straight ahead and solve the cross. For example, for this scramble, we realize the white blue piece is already attached to the blue center on the side, and then if we just do an L prime, we wouldn't have this piece done. And then yeah, so now we have red, green, and orange unsolved. So what we can do, notice red is here, right? Green is here. So if we do it an F prime and then an R prime, we would have green solved. So it's like oriented correctly, right? Also opposite from blue. And now we have red. And just do an F prime again to solve it into the bottom layer. And then orange now can also go into the cross in one move, but it wouldn't be like correct relative to the other pieces, and it would also push the blue piece out of the way. So we do know that the cross is made of 4 edge pieces containing the same color. So we can just look at the bottom face and we'd see that this is the only spot that doesn't have white yet. So what we can do is just to temporarily move this spot over, bring red down with an L, and then move it back, and we'd have to cross. And yeah, so the hardest thing to begin with when you start solving your cross in this way is sometimes you might have like pieces solved not correctly relative to one another. For example, you might have this sort of case. You have these two correct, and these two are like this. So all you need to do in this case is just to do that. And okay, so that is that, and let's just show another example real quick. And okay, so we have green here, blue here, red here, and orange is the easiest. So what we'll actually do in this case is we'll actually put orange to the top first temporarily and move blue down. After that, we'll misalign, insert red, and then realign, and then what we would do, so we know that now we need to do an F to put orange down, right? But green is like now flipped in its target position, and that's a really bad case. And what we can do is to just move it into the middle layer, and then when we do the F, it would be put onto the top, and we can just align it with a green center and bring it back down. And now we have the cross. Alright, let's see. Okay, for this case, okay, this is the last example I'm gonna do for today, and after this, well, for the cross, you guys really need to practice and like do some slower solves too, in order to figure out like better solutions, and potentially like based on what I've taught, you guys can just figure out something on your own maybe. And okay, so in this case, what I would do is I would look at this, and so blue goes to the left of orange. Okay, so that is something to keep in mind. when you start solving the cross in this way, instead of making a flower first, make sure you know this, like the orders of the centers around like the side. And yeah, so for now we're just solving a white cross, and so white's on the bottom, and you need to know the color order. So if we have blue in the front, green is on the back because they're opposite, and then red on the right, orange on the left. Okay, so I have orange here. We know that we eventually need to align it with the orange center, and then blue, as we just talked about, goes to the right side of orange because orange is on the left of blue. So we can just put that down. And then now we have this case. Okay, so have two solved correctly relative to each other's, and then we have green and red. Okay, so what we can do here is do that so that green would go opposite from blue, like that. And then we can just align the cross, and then so to solve this red piece, we can just do, if it's on this side, we just do L, F prime, L prime. So what that does is that temporarily moves the blue piece out of the way, and then also attaches the red white piece with the red center on the side in the correct orientation, and then do an F prime to put it into the cross, and then move blue back. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you like so what I'll do is I'll show you like another concept of the cross, which is really important as a beginner. So yeah, the faster, like the sooner you learn this, the better it is actually, because not too many habits have been formed in your solves. And so this is the concept of color neutrality. So what color neutrality means is just so instead of going for the white cross every time as your starting color, you can choose any side as your starting color. So in this case, okay, so we can see that we don't have any white pieces attached to white center already, but we do have two yellow as well as orange pieces attached here. And so actually in this case, it probably makes sense to just go for the yellow or orange as your starting color, and because like it would give you an easier start, you know. So in this case, I would probably look around the cube, and I see that we've actually got a very, very easy orange cross. We can just do U prime, R2, F2, and we'd have the orange cross solved. But make sure you don't spend too much time like deciding which cross color you're going to start from. So basically just take a quick look and just decide. Okay, so in this case, I would probably just take a quick look and just go for the orange cross again, because I see that. So green is opposite from blue, yellow is opposite from white, and we also have this piece and this piece, and I would just do, so these two will go correctly relative to one another, and have these two right, and white is on the side here, would have orange and yellow, so they go opposite from each other's, and then just put in blue. Okay, I'll give 5 more examples to start your solve on a different cross color. Okay, so in this case, I just take a quick look and I just go for red. Okay, so I have blue, green, and white, yellow, and if we do that, that puts this in, also moves this here, so, and we also notice this, so we'll do that, and then we have these 3 solved correctly relative to one another, because we just need to do a U2 later to align, but now we're in this position, and we just need to, okay, when you're solving this, you always need to memorize what color you started from. So for example, in this case, don't just see a white piece and put it in, because that wouldn't be correct. Okay, you need to know and memorize what you started with, and then just put in the last piece and then align. Alright, here. Alright, in this case, I'll do blue and get a very easy blue cross done. Okay, and looking around, I will do blue again, and here's how it would go. And we just would have the blue cross done. Alright, I think this would be our last example. And okay, also something to keep in mind, don't just because you're color neutral doesn't mean you can't do the white cross anymore. So if you see a really easy white cross, so blue goes to the left side of orange, a red, and right side of orange. So you can just replace it, and then replace the green piece with blue, and then you can align and put green above its target spot, and then bring green down. So yeah, being color neutral doesn't mean you give up on white. It just means that you, when possible, you choose the potentially easier cross solution. I mean cross color, yeah, and that's just how you would start your solve, you know. And okay, so let me solve the cube. And okay, here's another thing. So when you're like doing a solve starting on another color, you need to make sure that you know what your last layer is going to be. For example, if you started on green, your last layer now is not white, not yellow anymore, but blue. And also, you need to, for example, I'll do a scramble again. And in this case, I'll solve the orange cross, and so after we solve the cross, make sure that you're not automatically just looking for white pieces and solve them into the bottom layer as like the first layer, because that's not gonna help. Instead, so white and yellow are not special in this case. Red and orange are the special colors, especially to be more specific. Red is your last layer color, and orange is your bottom color. So you need to do that, and then put this piece in. This piece goes here, and lastly, this piece goes here, and so on. Yeah, so, and now, for example, if you're doing orange as your bottom color, you need to know that orange and red would not be in your second layer colors. So any piece that contains any edge piece that contains red or orange will not be your target pieces for the second layer. And that is pretty much just a concept about color neutrality, and something you need to pay more attention to while practicing. Yeah, and so from now on, just if you wish, because for those people who learned the Rubik's Cube from my channel, you guys should still be beginners by now, and I don't think you guys have too many habits formed yet, and so maybe just become color neutral if you can, because it's I think it helps a lot actually. And that's it. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. See you guys next time.